We'll do this thing when you work on the hello, and great to see you all here today at this live session for Nomad Cruise 13. And yeah, please let us know in the comments where in the world you are at the moment. And we are going to start, very soon to share like a lot of updates for Nomad Cruise 13. And together here with me here is Bori. Bori is the main program host on Nomad Cruise 13. And yeah, we're looking forward to share a lot of updates with you. It's great to see actually already so many of you here. And we're super excited. Like we've been thinking a lot about like how we can put this cruise together. And really can't wait to share a lot of updates with you here. So yeah, just please let us know where you are in the world, and then we're going to tune right in. We are just waiting actually here for the first part of the presentation to be uploaded, but it should be ready in about 10 seconds.
Cool. Bori. I'm also so happy to see so many people already. I'm in Budapest, and I have another question for you guys. I saw a lot of people who I already know from previous cruises. Can you please also add, is this going to be your first cruise if you're joining, or if you've already been? And if yes, then how many cruises you've done so far? So yeah, we're just gonna keep you entertained. So coming from Eastern Daylight time zone, hey Curtin. We have Portugal, we have Tarifa, we have Guntas here to the fourth time. This cruise is fire. Well, thank you so much, Berkeley. Buenos Aires, second cruise. Hey Rick. Will be my third. Hi Ingo. First on my cruise, but about 16 cruises. Hey Abby, would be cool to have you on board. First one. Juliana is here from Brazil. It will be the third cruise. Playa del Carmen, 8th cruise. Hey Keith. It's so good to see so many people. Hi Don. This will be my third cruise. Don was with us on Antarctica as well. Netherlands, second cruise. So as you can see, many of us are pretty much alumni here, but please don't let this scare you away, because we usually have so many programs and everybody is included super fast in our programs, and we are going to tell you how we created this, because we have an amazing surprise for everybody who's here, people who are newbies, and also people who've already been to eight cruises. That was like the craziest thing. 8 cruises. How many cruises did you do, Johannes?
I did 14, 15, 16. Yeah. Okay. 16 all in total and 14 with Nomad Cruise. Yes. Okay, so we are waiting here for these slides to update. It's always a little bit tricky with Canva, because you can only, or with this software that we're using, you can only have about 50 megabytes. So we're just waiting for this now. But I mean, we can already start talking a little bit about the cruise. So, or what we're going to do, what we're going to share with you in this presentation. So basically, we'll share a little bit of updates about the pre-departure plans. We want, actually, this is like a really cool thing to know, and like maybe from you to comment as well. It's like, are you already, like, what are your plans before? Like, do you already have plans before the cruise? Are you going to be in the States? Maybe some of you are going to Burning Man. It would be great just to know a little bit, what are your plans if you already booked some accommodation, where you are with this. And then we will share a little bit about this. So we're going to share about our pre-departure plans. Then we will share just a little bit about the journey, but most of you know this already. I mean, it's on the website, right? We're going from Vancouver to Japan. And then we're going to share how the time in Japan is working. This is not like something completely final, like we're still actually working with different providers in order to release all the information, but just so that you have a little bit of a plan where we're going and what we're going to do. And then we have a little surprise destination for you as well. And then, so then for those of you who are still thinking to come, like, it's really, really important to decide this right now. We don't really have many cabins left. So by the end of May, they will be pretty much gone. Like, we're selling every day now. And we're also working on other projects. So our goal is to to just sell everything this May. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to happen. And now we're going to actually dive right in and start sharing this presentation for you. Sorry, this took a little bit long here to get over
Although
the ground.
I'm super entertained with the suggestions that we have here to have a welcome ritual for the newbies. And maybe Burning Man can be the welcome ritual for the newbies. I think Burning Man also needs a welcome ritual for the newbies. So yeah, they do. All right, so many people are gonna go for Burning Man as well. Not me this time, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So if you're
I
going to
love
Burning
Burning Man.
Man, yeah, you can also would be great if you can all connect there, and we can also help facilitate that a little bit. Well, you can do this in the Telegram channel that we're going to launch very, very soon. And yeah, let's dive right in. We have quite a few slides to go through, so we'll make this as fast as we can. Okay. So just for everyone who's tuning in the first time, Nomad Cruise is actually something that is designed by Nomad. So everything that we're doing on Nomad Cruise, we're doing we developed this over the last 10 years actually. And yeah, there's been a lot of thought in how it makes it easier for us to connect. I've actually been a Nomad for over 10 years, started the Nomad Cruise, Nomad Safari, Nomad Base, and organized events for over 3,000 people, digital nomads around the world. Then we have Rennie, who's always a little bit in the background, but she's really the heart of Nomad Cruise and always helping us to make this work. So whenever you're talking with anyone from customer support, you're speaking with Rennie. She's also been with us for 8 years and part of the team since 7 years. So you know her probably from emails. And then I'm super excited to have Bori here with us again. How many Nomad Cruises did you organize, co-host with us?
Oh, I think it should be 7 or 8, around
Yes.
7 or 8. Yeah, exciting. Yeah, with Tarifa, I think it's another. It might be 9.
And before that, Bori has basically been traveling around the world, also a lot as well, and has been a nomad for actually, much longer.
10 years.
So I already spoke about what you can expect in this webinar. And Bori, do you want to share a little bit about why Nomad Cruise is so special?
Yeah, so it was quite an interesting thing to put together this webinar for you guys, because we knew that there's going to be newbies and there's going to be alumni. We call alumni people who've already been on cruises. So we wanted to figure out how can we talk for the newbies in the first place. We kind of need to tell you why is it so special that you saw that many people come back 4 times, 5 times, many, many times. And the reason is, next slides, dum, dum, dum. Is because of the people. So what happens is that we created a lot of materials, video materials, on what people like the most about Nomad Cruise. And then we started to realize that the one word keeps repeating after each cruise when we interview them, and they go like, "I love the people. I love the people. I love the people. I meet my crowd. I meet the people who understand where I'm coming from and who knows exactly what I'm going through when I'm having a location independent lifestyle, or I want to be a location independent entrepreneur." So we started to think, and this is what we're going to talk about a little bit more in detail, on how to facilitate this better. And today's webinar is going to be really important because I think it is a milestone where we finally accept that our duty as Nomad Cruise is to connect these people together. And now we are going to be bravely say that this is our job, to make you guys meet the people and the community for the lifetime. So what's special about the Nomad Cruise is absolutely the people.
Yes, and now I'm just quickly going to jump into how this journey is going to start before we actually talk more and go deeper into the program and how everything is going to work. So basically, we know that some of you want to come to Canada a little bit earlier than just 7 days, or you also want to maybe see a few other places. And also we saw that when we looked into Vancouver that sometimes accommodation can be super pricey, so not everyone necessarily wants to stay there for the full 7 days. And so we talked a little bit about with our Canadian friends, and what we are going to do actually is that before the cruise, actually, like already on the 20th, for everyone who wants to come a little bit earlier. So if you haven't been on Nomad Cruise before, we always recommend everyone to arrive a few days earlier, because you can really connect very easily. And the place where we want to meet and where we want to have our first little Preunion is actually Whistler. So Whistler is 1 hour, 30-minute drive from Vancouver. It's one of the world top ski resorts. And but it's also an amazing adventure destination, and it's also going to be low season when we are going there, so you can get really super nice accommodation there. And for everyone who wants to come a little bit earlier and do some of the like world-class hiking, you can do there, or like lots of adventure outdoor sports. So it's a really nice place, I think, where we can arrive, where we can get to know Canada a little bit, and where like places where we all gonna find like easily accommodation in the beginning. So if you can come to Whistler around the 20th already, then we are gonna continue our journey over to Vancouver afterwards. We will organize a few things more informal in Whistler, but we're speaking like to some adventure companies, and we have a really good contact of people who are living in Whistler. So I think that we can put some really cool program there. And if if you're making all your way from Europe and you want to see a little bit more than just Vancouver, for example, then this is a great place to meet from the 20th of September. Okay, and we will share more in a reunion guide in the coming 2 weeks. So like a lot of the stuff, like maybe you don't know exactly like, okay, where shall I stay with regards to accommodation or whatever, we are putting all this stuff together at the moment. Really, Nomad Cruise 13, to get everything organized is really our top priority for you. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can do, incredible hiking and nature, zip lining. One of my friends who's been all over the world and now been living in Whistler for over 7 years, he said that these are his favorite hikes that he's ever done in this region. So I know that the nomads love hiking, so this is really a cool place to come enjoy the nature before we are going to Vancouver. So you can obviously stay in Vancouver already 1 week before, come there anytime, but like on the 26th of September, we're gonna have our first bigger Preunion. And then we'll have some things happening in Vancouver. You can do again there, like it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world from what I hear. I've always been wanting to go there. You can just explore the city, take big walks around. It's all super safe, and you can even go and spot some orcas, which is like one of like a favorite thing to do there, whale watching tours and stuff. So we are going to share tips for accommodation, where you can stay and everything within the next 2 weeks for you, so you can start to book. And we will also launch a Telegram channel within the next 2 weeks, so that you can go and book and to do everything together, because it's really important, to plan and to get on board with everything and coordinate your accommodation. Okay, so the next thing is we're just quickly going to explain again the journey. I want to say here again, like, feel free to ask some questions. We're not going to answer them immediately, but while you're watching, or if anything comes up, feel free to ask. Okay, so this is the first time that we are going with Holland America. Holland America is a little bit different to the cruise lines that we had before. They're actually really known for having amazing food on board. So it's a bit more upper class to all the things that we did in the past. Amazing sports facilities on board, all the things that about cruises, great bars, live music. But we also have our private venues there, and it's going to be a little bit different experience, a little bit more a little bit better in general, or not better, but a little bit different, a bit more fancy, I would say. That's a good way to put it. Okay, and then what we also have with a cruise included is all drinks and all Wi-Fi, so you don't need to worry about that. It's really, really an all-inclusive cruise. And so we're really looking forward to go for the first time with Holland America. We will also still continue to go in the future with the other cruise lines that we've been with, but like this is the first time, and really excited to go with them. But this is only one small part of the whole journey, the cruise, as we will explain to you now in more detail. Yeah, this is the route. You can see it, right? We're starting in Vancouver, and then we are working on putting together a little bit of an excursion program for Alaska and for Kodiak Island, which is really, really famous for the bears who are living there, and also Kushiro, which will be our first stop in Japan. So we're always doing some things there, and we're working on this program right now. I can't go too much into detail. It's a bit more about helping you to plan more in advance and what's going to happen after the cruise, okay? And then we arrive in Yokohama on the 13th. What we can already tell you about this cruise and why you should really take this one is that we don't know when we're going to do this again, right? This is our trip to Japan. And I can already tell you that for sure next year we are not going to go to Japan. We are working on other things. And we really don't know, like, this time we're going there and we don't know if we're going to do this again, because what we actually did is that we never came back to Colombia for a long time. We didn't go back to Greece, haven't been to Italy, not Dominican Republic. So these were all destinations that you see here where we so far only went once. And if you're thinking to want to go to Japan together with Nomad Cruise, then now this is really the best time to do it and to decide if you want to come, okay? So now Bori will explain a little bit more about the experience and what we're gonna have on board. Like, we did brainstorm a little bit. Like, we just met now in Tarifa, and Bori came up with like some newer concepts, and I will let you explain this here.
Yes, I would actually want you to go for the very next slide from here.
For the very next one, okay.
So yeah, we have news, guys. We decided that the Nomad Cruise is no longer a conference. So after all these years, the Nomad Cruise is in the making for 10 years, and I can tell you, working together with Johannes, is that, or the biggest question always was, how can we create the best experience for these people? So we never just thought like, okay, we're just gonna put all these people in a cruise ship and then we sail over. But we always had, like, I would say, like, we put the science behind the experience. And then slowly we realized that what we are creating is not actually a conference. And it was in the past as well, but it was never that clear for us as it became clear now. Can you go for the next slide? So we came up with the idea that we are creating actually an experience. So on the next slide, how can I show you better? Yes. Okay. So over almost the past 10 years, we've always asked you after each cruise, what did you like? What did you not like? And we started to realize that it's not usually the things that you really like and what you gave feedback for us are the ones where there were like different options, but we realized that we are no longer want to create a conference where everybody sits and listens for a few hours, for like 5 hours or 6 hours. People want to be active. People want to experience different things. So if you go on the next slide, so this is how, or the concept before looked like. We had talks and workshops. It was 65%, more or less 65% of our program. And then actually a couple of years ago, we came up with the ideas to add specials. So previously it was just talks and workshops. Then we started to add the so-called specials. And then we had a little bit of a free time, not too much. And then we also had the meetups. So after a while, I started to realize that this concept is really similar to, go back, please. Go back, please. Thank you. So I realized that this concept is super similar to the concept of eating meat and then everything else is the side. And I think people are more interested about eating various things. So please go for the next slide now. So we created 7 pillars, and the 7 pillars are the following. Yay! So exciting. So we have learn, we have play, we have share, we have shine, we have travel, we have wellness, and we have space. And let's go into what is this? If you can just go. Okay, so this is the new concept. Instead of focusing on learn 65% of our time, we try to allocate enough time for everything that we believe it's important to create connections. We've tried this, it worked, but we were never brave enough to say that we want to create something new. And I think we are ready, and we want to say that we want to create something new, something that actually creates even better experience that we had before. So I can tell you, I think this cruise is going to be the best cruise we've ever done. And I'm not, this is not a marketing text. I'm really believing in that this is something that we don't go against what actual people want. We are here to serve and create space for you guys. So let's go into details. What does it mean? So learn is actually just your regular talks and workshops, but not just your regular talks and workshops, because we are going to have less talks and workshops than usually we would have. We are going to make sure that we are creating industry leaders being on stage, talking about various topics that you are right now interested, not something that you were interested 10 years ago. We are always making sure that the program is really up top notch, and our speakers are really well prepared, and a curated program is something that you don't want to miss out on this next cruise. So we already have a few speakers that we can show to you. As you can see, we have various people who are coming back. We have Paul, we have a few new faces. Dawn is here already with us, I saw you. She's going to talk about negotiations. And we have a SEO expert, Yusi, is going to come. And we have fantastic Delia, who's going to talk about, well, to be added. And we're also going to have Krista, who did an amazing talk previously. She did talk about how she created an offer that sold out in a way that it was incredible to watch from the part line. I'm the biggest cheerleader for Krista, I have to say. I love what you put together in business. And we were lucky enough to see everything how it unfolded, because she's part of our community for, I would say, like 7 or 8 years. And we saw her become extremely successful. Josh coming back with another workshop this time. We are going to talk about Palestine. And well, I'm going to talk about Valerie a little bit later. Can you go for the next slide?
I want to say that we have also received more applications from you with regards to talks, and please check over the next 2 weeks. Like, we're still like planning the program, so that the program planning was just one part that we are on, but like we want to like kind of finish this and go through all the applications. If someone of you has not applied and really wants to speak, you basically have 2 days to apply, because we're gonna finish and finalize the full program for the cruise now. So it's basically your last chance. If you want to apply, go to nomadcruise.com/speaker. Maybe Rennie, you can drop the link here as well. And yeah, so that's the learning part. And now we are going to the sharing part.
So on shares, we've already had this, but we just kind of put it in one pillar. Share is everything where you are there to share your knowledge. So it can be meetups, it can be theme dinners. And this time we are going to allocate 2 full days for unconference. So how this is going to go, come with your unconference topic in the beginning of the cruise. You can pitch your topic on the unconference, and people can vote which unconference they want to attend, and we're going to choose the best ones. So this is how we're creating the program on the go. So even if you're not going to be selected for this particular, for the curated program, you still have a chance to come for the unconference. What's more, I would like to encourage you to come prepared with a topic that you really want to share. And then, just pitch it on the beginning of the cruise. We're also going to have masterminds. We always have masterminds. I think it's a wonderful tool. I have various wonderful masterminds that work for different areas of my life. And one little addition here that I would like to add. So we differentiate here meetups and unconference. And the difference between meetups and unconference is a meetup is a place where I would suggest 8 to 10 people maximum. So people who can actually have one conversation. It's not you sharing your knowledge, but you are having a conversation about something. And unconference can be for a larger audience, where you are on stage explaining something, what you've done, or what you want to share with the people. or any kind of method that you want to bring in. So the reason why we created this is because sometimes it's so difficult to see the amazing talents that we have on board, and we wanted to make space for you guys that to be able to be seen with your knowledge. And maybe next time you're going to be already going for the main conference topic. Can we go for the next one?
Yes.
So the general topics of this sharing, for example, theme dinners, where you can just like come up with any topics that you want to talk about. You put it on a table, and you just sit with 4 to 8 people and talk about those and theme dinners. But these topics can vary. Not only theme dinners, but also the unconference topics can be. It can be a men's circle. It can be talking about attachment styles. It can be about podcasting. It can be about tantra. It can be about AI. It can be about Burning Man. Like whatever you want to talk about, and it's legal, you are welcome to talk about it, and we encourage you to share your knowledge and meet with the people who are like-minded. I love philosophy meetups. I love to talk about philosophy, and yeah, I'm always that's my favorite thing. All right, so let's go for the next one, because this is my personal favorite one, and this is what I always bring on the table whenever we go play. I think whoever said that adults don't play ruin the game for everybody. Honestly, I think we all love to play, and we love to interact. We love to participate. So one of our pillars, I think, the closest to my heart is play. What it includes is we have the deconnection workshop there. That's like a signature workshop that I'm always hosting. We have salsa, bachata. This time we're going to have a Latin dance. We have karaoke, we have aesthetic dance, improv, networking games, theme parties. So everywhere where you just can come and then participate and have learning by doing kind of things. Can we go for the next one?
I just need 1 second, then I will go for the next one. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Yes, we're going to have a deep connection workshop. Oh, there we go. So yes, Astrid is already asking, can we do a deep connection workshop Nomad 13 edition? So I guess Astrid, you've already been to my deep connection workshop. Oh, let's go back a little bit, please.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit more. I would like to. Okay, there we go. So we have, for example, ecstatic dance. Ecstatic dance is something that appeared a few years ago, and now it's one of like highlights. This is me on the lilac color having at the time of my life. This was not shot on an ecstatic dance because we are not taking pictures in ecstatic dance, but I kind of improvised here. Next one, please.
I'm gonna, yes. Maury, I will ask you 1 second because I'm preparing. We are like going through some technical issues. So I'm gonna ask you to talk a little bit more about this project until I'm ready to jump into the next slide. Okay.
So here I am improvising. Actually, I like to talk about this a lot. So Shine is something that we've started. I don't even know. I think it was an accident. So Shine is we love seeing people grow out of this community, and this is why you probably know that you only can apply to be a speaker if you already are part of the community. I mean, you have a ticket, because we want to create our own superstars. We want people to shine on stage. So the idea came in the beginning because we had a cruise talent show, and one of our friends, Diego, went on the cruise talent show, Nomad 3, and it blew up. Everybody was cheering for him because he was one of ours, and it was amazing how it just brought the community even closer. So we decided to have our own little talent show, and we realized that we have so many people who have some kind of talent. So we have jugglers, we have magicians, we have theater kids, we have everything, whatever you can imagine. I hope they perform again on Nomad 13. I'm in love. Oh, these people, yeah. So we have a lot of musicians. By the way, we usually have jam sessions as well. So this is where all the talents come out. And the next The next thing that we usually have is story night. So this is a new concept I brought in from the Matrix 12. This is actually Sören singing, but I just like the picture a lot. So story night is a night where we had something similar before. It was called the Speak Up Challenge. And now we transformed it a little bit, but the idea is that you can apply to have a coaching session. It will be a 3-hour coaching session on cruise, and we are going to find your best story, and we are going to make you tell it the best way you've ever told this. We've seen people go from zero to hero. We've done this now in Tarifa. It was incredible to hear everybody's personal stories. Usually it's personal stories, and it just gives us goosebumps anytime when we hear somebody's telling their story. We had Fiona, for example, on the previous cruise. She was telling she's 70, and her message, I think, just still with us ever since we've listened to her talk about love, actually. And we also have another really cool thing. We have the piranha tank. I hope that we have one more. Yeah, we have the piranha tank.
So we solved the technical issue.
I managed to talk enough.
Yeah.
So we have Valerie, for example, who came to, so Piranha Tank is our own version of Shark Tank. Due to copyright issues, we call it Piranha Tank. So we call it Piranha Tank because these are not just bites a little bit. So we don't actually rip you apart with your business idea, but you can bring your own business idea. And many times you get a lot of feedback and you can win prizes on the Piranha Tank, but you also win various mentoring and help from the community. And we are really proud of Valerie because she came and pitched her idea of Nomad magazine, Nomad Gossip magazine, and it's done. The first edition is out. The second edition comes in September. So we really hope that we're going to have some in our hand on the cruise. And it was just incredible to see. And then we wanna create a space where we actually help each other to grow with their business as well. Okay, let's go for the next one. So we also have travel. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I mean, travel is the part of the excursions and everything that happens before and after. And yeah, one day we hope we go back to Africa. So Bori put this nice picture here. And yeah, so travel is a huge part of our pillars. As you know, before, after, and during the trip, we're gonna talk more about the excursions and the things. We will share all details with you, what's going to happen during the trip over the next weeks as well. But another pillar that we have is wellness. Bori, do you want to chat more?
Yeah, sure. So actually, wellness recently was added because we actually are done with the schedule, guys. Can you imagine? So we are done with the schedule for you guys. It never happens, usually like a 1 week before going to the cruise. But we realize that most of us who are nomading for a little bit longer. We know how important routine is in our life, and we kind of don't want to rip you away from your routine. So now we're going to start every morning with some sort of morning mindset or morning meditation or morning wellness program. On the next slide, we can show you what we have in mind. So we have breathwork, which was never officially in the program, but it always was there in meetups ever since I've been on my cruises. We have yoga, we have Pilates, we have a gym that you already saw. I'm not sure about the spa. We need to double check it. And as I said before, we are going to have a calisthenic workshop that I'm so excited about, actually, because I want to learn it on how to train without a gym. Okay, so the next one is you can tell me if you like it or not, but I think you're gonna really like this. So I think the idea came to add space in the pillars on Antarctica, because on Antarctica it was quite a rocky boat, and we try to keep people enough space so that they can sleep it off if they're feeling a little bit sick, or so we didn't want to put so much program because we kind of also didn't know how the community will react. So we had a lot of space, and this space created wonderful connections because we realized that we always put so much program because we have so much ideas. So we just like jam a lot of program into your schedule. and you don't have time to just randomly meet someone, sit down for a coffee and talk for 4 hours without having FOMO. So before we kept saying like, don't have FOMO, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, we created the FOMO. So now we are actually going to give you space instead of FOMO so that you can have time to experience what's happening on the cruise, like participating on things that the facilities that the cruise offers. You're going to have so many extra. You can have the jacuzzi parties. You can have the careful with the parties in jacuzzi, please. But you can have a time in jacuzzi, and yeah, all the things you can create a jam session. Everything that you don't. It's space is just when we don't tell you what to do. We don't recommend you anything to do, and you can just chill out. Okay, so yeah, so space is for spontaneity, because I think the best connections are done when it comes in spontaneously. So please, if you're still here, please write down what is your favorite pillar so far. And another thing meanwhile you're typing in. So just to remember, we had learn, we had play, we had travel, we had share, shine, and wellness and space. So please write in the comment. Shine and share, play, learn and play and share, play and space, travel. So we already, it's so exciting because I really wanted to see what you think
Nobody
about
wants
this.
to have a learn.
No, there was somebody, Gustav wanted it, yeah. So meanwhile you're writing this, I wanted to add one amazing thing for you. We are going to have a little surprise at the end of this little talk, so just stay until the end. And thanks so much for sharing. Learn, space, shine, and space, share, play, and space. I'm just like saying words right now. So
Space is like
what
the most famous.
yeah. So I learned the most during share, yeah. So I'm so happy because it really feels that we heard you. That's what I feel right now. I'm really grateful for you guys. Thank you so much. How do we go from here? So one thing that I can promise you guys is that we're always going to listen to you. But another thing that I would like to ask you is to get ready, because this experience is going to be different, and it can be the best if you add something to it. So please don't be disappointed if you're not selected to the curated program for talks and workshops, because we have so many other places. Bring your guitar, bring your instruments, join the jam sessions, bring anything that you think people can play with. You know, legal legal notice is important here, but help us build this community. That's all I want to say. And somebody's really curious about the spot. So I think this is, yeah, one more thing to add here, and then we can go on, is that every cruise is different. And I wanted to say this before we go on, Johannes, just one second, bear with me. But we just realized that when we talk with Johannes, we've been on like various cruises together, but we still remember each little group. We remember who was in the Cruise 6 and who was in the Cruise 8. And we remember everything. Well, not everything, you know. But we still remember the people who were there. And even if you come 6, 7 times, I know who was on 6, who was on 8, and who was on 9. And we know the vibe. And honestly, you do as well. And you know that cruises have different vibes. And the reason is because we use the same cruise ship for a long time, and we don't actually get off that many time that it would create, but the people who were there created a difference and created a different atmosphere. So then we realized that the reason why you guys always come back for Nomad cruises is because it's always one and unique experience, because it's always one and unique different group of people. And if we have amazing group of people who are coming, which right now I know there's going to be so many amazing people coming. We already sold out so many of the cabins that like I think it's going to be an amazing group of people. All right, I'm done talking. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bori. So I will talk now about the next part. And yeah, I think one thing that is really, really amazing or incredible about the cruise now as well is not just the cruise, but it is that we are arriving in Japan. So I think this has been probably a bucket list for so many of us. And one thing I would love you to do is to share here in the chat how many days you're planning to be in Japan after the trip. This also actually really helps us to design things a little bit better, but I will explain to you now how it works. But if you already know, like, hey, I just want to be there for 1 week, or I want to be there for 2 weeks, or I want to be there for a month, like, let us know in the chat, because this gives us a little bit of an idea what will work best for you, and what we can put together. Okay. Wow, 6 months. Okay, that's a lot. 12 days, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, 7 days. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah, that's really, really nice to see how you're sharing this. So we have some people who are planning to stay much longer, and others just a few weeks, like 2 to 4 weeks. So we want that all of you can make the best out of Japan, because I mean, we know that this has been a bucket list, and we know that many of you are just joining because we are going together to Japan. And I've been thinking a lot about like how we can do it or whatsoever, and I just want to share a little bit here now what we have in mind. In Tarifa, we actually have this. We started this little brainstorming group of Japanese, like people who are from Japan and people who really love Japan, and they also shared a lot of advice with me, and they're also giving a lot of feedback on the things that we're planning. And I think there'll be like a lot of really cool spontaneous things coming up as well, because they have just been giving so much really cool feedback. But I cannot explain this like in detail now. But what I want to just share with you is the way of what we're going to do there in Japan, because basically we have two different options that we are currently working on. Okay. So the first option is that we've been thinking a lot about, like, in which places do we want everyone to spend some time. So first of all, there's Tokyo, right? We are arriving in Tokyo. We are very close to Tokyo, and it's incredible place to discover so many different things. You can probably spend month there and do something amazing every day that you haven't experienced before. But so Tokyo will be our first place where you can go after the cruise, and the next place is actually Osaka. So the thing is, why are we choosing Osaka? Because Osaka is right next to Kyoto. It has got great accommodation options, and you can actually discover a lot around this region as well. And it's a little bit more affordable, so it's a little bit more popular for like long-term stays. And I think that with these two options, you can like really discover Japan. You can get to know the place there. There's a lot of things that you can do around it, and yeah, really experience this place together. And Tokyo is so close to our arrival, so it's very good like this. And we're going to send you, as usual, a reunion guide. Like, this is something that we're working right now within the next 2 weeks, where we tell you, like, okay, this is where you can book accommodation, this is where you can stay, and then we will also open the Telegram chat very soon, so you can coordinate, you can book Airbnbs and whatsoever. But Tokyo and Osaka, I believe, are like really good places to go. And this is also what we discussed in our little brainstorming group with the Japanese. So then we have another option, because we know that not every one of you has got a time to stay for 1 month or whatsoever. So yeah, just to share with you, in Tokyo, we're going to be, you can stay there around like 8 days or whatsoever, and then you can come over to Osaka. We're going to have reunions in both places. We're also planning a little bit more than reunions, but this is stuff that we just work on, as we come and go. Like, there are first like more bigger things we need to sort out, and then this is what we have. But we want to at least already share with you the area where you can stay in Tokyo and where you should stay with us in Osaka, and then like more cool stuff will come over the next coming weeks. So the other thing that we know is, like, if you only have like 7 days or 2 weeks, you actually don't maybe necessarily want to figure out everything by yourself, right, or with a group, and you just really want to make sure that you get a lot out of this trip. So what we're doing as well is we talk to one tour operator, actually like really big global tour operator called Intrepid Travel, and we are designing together with them a tour. Okay, so the idea of that tour is a 9-day Japan discovery tour that will take you from Yokohama to Tokyo, Kamakura, Nara, Kyoto, and then to Osaka, where we can then meet with everyone else. But like basically, this is the first time we're trying this, but I'm quite excited about this. It's also not for like super many people, but those of you who just have like 10 days in Japan, who don't want to do all the planning by themselves, we're going to offer this tour as another option after the trip, and then you can you can see a lot of amazing things without having to figure out like how to get the tickets or whatsoever. So I think that this is super convenient for those people who have 2 weeks time or less and want to like really make a lot out of this. Okay, so we will share more details about this trip as well, and then we're also working on another option, which is just something that like includes like a pickup and a hotel for the first night, so for like an easy landing. But I believe that with this package we can really like serve everyone a little bit, and I mean the tour operator that we're working with, they're like real experts in this. So and then with the help from our little advisor group of Japanese friends, I think that we are putting together like a really cool option. So I hope that I can also share within the next 2 weeks some more updates about this Japan tour. What I can just share is like that there's not going to be like super many spots. So if you want to be on this tour, it's also really important that you book this early. It's a little bit like what we did when we organized the Nomad Base event in Cape Town and then later had a safari, but this will be like a little bit less stressful. And also keep in mind that if you need to do some work, you can usually do this like around 4 p.m. and later during the day, because most of the program in this discovery tour will happen earlier. Okay, but we'll explain this a little bit more. I think we'll also have like a little webinar for those of you who are interested to attend this. Okay, and then we have one more thing. So that's part of our surprise, actually. And I'm also really excited about this because we know many of you will actually stay longer in Asia. And as I can see here, 1 to 2 months, that's quite a common answer. So for those of you who want to travel a little bit more after Japan, we have decided on one more destination where we're going to meet and that you can check out. And that is the Philippines. Okay, so whoever has never been to the Philippines, I think it's incredible. This was my first digital nomad destination ever. And if you have a little bit more time to stick around, on the 18th of November, we are going to have a reunion in the Philippines. We are currently still deciding like where we're going to go exactly. But I think it's an incredible country, and it only costs you like 150 euros to fly there from Japan because we're so close. So whoever wants to go, you can be there on the 18th. Obviously, you can come later as well if you want to stay, a little bit longer in Japan. That's no problem. I think that many will end up staying, in different places. And as Curtin says, everyone can pick their own island. That's actually true because the Philippines are made out of, I think, 7,900 islands. And it's really, really incredible there. I think it's so underrated. It's been one of the most incredible places I've ever been to. And I'm excited to take you there. And we have also some really, really cool contacts in the Philippines. So for those of you who want to stick around with us a little bit longer, be prepared for some really cool time in the Philippines as well. So, I mean, this is really something where it's more informal, but we also like working. Maybe we can have like a little get things done retreat there or something. It's nothing really final. This is like our last priority to sort these things out. But for those of you who are thinking like, hey, I want to stay longer in Asia afterwards, where shall I go? Remember, 18th of November, Philippines. We're going to share some place where we will meet with everyone. Okay, so we hope you like this a lot. And then, yeah, I mean, let's talk about getting on board. So this is what you need to know. Again, like, we're gonna send you all the emails. If you booked already your tickets, like, please check the emails, check everything, apply today if you still want to do a talk. And then yeah, we really can't wait to do this incredible journey with all of you and take you there. And I think this will, yeah, it's really, really unique. And also, yeah, can't wait to take you to the Philippines. Okay, so let's talk about getting on board for those of you who are not here, and then we will answer some more questions. So we're just going to run through this super quickly, also for those alumni, you know, who are like actually already booked. We'll just quickly share some updates with you here. So first of all, what does Nomad Cruise include? Again, right, it's not just a cruise, it's the whole experience. I think Bori explained this really well, like, that we are developing there. And yeah, we want to like give more space to everyone, and like really, we're really trying to build something incredible there. And I mean, we've done this now almost 10 years. Next year, Nomad Cruise will be 10, so you can actually look for some other amazing things, look forward. And yeah, so the Nomad Cruise includes the cruise, the experience, and all the things that we're doing in Japan, that we're organizing for you in Japan. Of course, like, this 9-day tour is an extra price, but like, we're also putting together a lot of energy there so that you have an amazing time in Japan. And then as a little bonus, we're doing the Philippines reunion as well. And yeah, so the price starts from, actually at the moment, still only 2,000 euros. That's, if you think about the 13 days, you're getting all the food, all the drinks, and all these things already included. It's super cheap. You can't even stay in Vancouver for the same amount of time for the same price, right? So yeah, we are putting together something incredible there at a really low price. And yeah, so if you're still thinking, at the moment we have about 25 cabins. Really don't wait anymore. Also, if you have friends, just please tell them to book now. We are not going to get more cabins because I think that the ship will actually be full. So it's not going to be full because we have a lot of like single bookings. Like, there's going to be space, right? A lot of space on the ship, but we're not going to get more cabins. So we'll open the wait list very, very soon. So if you don't want to be on the wait list and you haven't booked, it's time to think about this now. And we just want to like repeat a little bit, who is actually, for who is the Nomad Cruise, Bori? Do you have some thoughts on this?
Yeah, we started to put together, and what I really love about this community is that it's not an exclusive community, it's an inclusive community. So we are welcoming, of course, our alumni are going to come back, as you know, because we like each other a lot, right? But I always love, and we have a lot of newbies as well, because it gives like a different spin to the whole idea. People are really. I remember when I saw we had this Nomad Cruise 9, and it was like 75% newbies, and then they were like just so mesmerized. But everything that we alumni are already like, oh yeah, I know cruises are cool. The newbies are like, oh my goodness, like this is actually a real deal. Some people usually don't know that it's a real deal. So it's not only for nomads, it's also for nomad curious. If you're location independent, or also if you're a remote worker and you want to go back to somewhere that you have a home base. So if you just need a holiday and you want to hang out with cool people, for backpackers and millionaires, I love this. And we came up with this a couple of weeks ago, because it is true. We have this, and then they sit at the same table, and then they talk about their shared values that we have. And we can talk about who's it not for as well, because we wanted to put this here. So it's not for you if you don't want to share, learn, and connect. So if you're just would like to have I don't know, a cruise, that, just take a cruise. But here you're gonna meet a lot of people, that we can promise, and a lot of really cool people. So yeah, if you're here to kind of co-create this experience with us, then it's for you. And if you don't like to co-create, then maybe it's not for you. And if you just need a ride to Japan, or if you just want to do a cruise. So of course, then we would recommend you to do like a proper cruise. If you just want to come and chill and relax, then it's not for you. We are actually a really well established experience. I cannot say conference anymore, right? In the nomad sphere, for a reason. I know that many people heard about it already. And this is what it includes. Like, we came up with the idea to just count how many things that we have, and I'm pretty sure that this is not everything that we have. So you have a breathwork class, a pool access, all day snacks. Don't recommend you eat all day though. Like, it's always like plus 3 kilos. I think somebody measured this. We have buffet breakfast. We have all drinks this time. We have free Wi-Fi. It never happened to us before. We have a trip to Japan, a trip to Alaska, a community for life, improv show, karaoke, Pilates classes, theme parties. We haven't even talked about this. There's going to be 3 theme parties. We are welcoming suggestions, by the way, like what the theme should be. Last time we had your inner group party, which was my favorite. And we're going to have the gym pass, the live shows, the mastermind. So it's just like so many things. If we would have the time and the energy to like put down what it would cost you to just do it without a cruise, I would say that it's like double of what you would pay for Nomad cruise. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, I think that's all what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so it's only 20% deposit. If you haven't booked yet, just do this now, and then until the 1st of July. That's when we need to collect the final payment. And I just really want to remind everyone, because like we know we have alumni and we always need to like chase a little bit after the 1st of July when the payment deadline is over. Like we really can't do this. So on the 1st of July, that is like when we need to have the full payment for everything to arrange this without problems also for us. And so you can go ahead and book. Maybe Rennie, you can share the link here quickly. So then we're looking forward to this. Just here, this is again the date, 29th of September until the 13th. And now we are open for questions. So if any one of you has any types of questions, now we can answer them. I see that actually Rennie also did answer a lot in the chat already. But if you have anything else that you want to know, then we can go into detail a little bit about this. We have, let's say like 5 to 10 more minutes that we can answer some questions here. So let us know if you need to know anything. And yes, you need the visa for the United States. So that's the first one.
Can I also answer to Juve, who's asking, can I bring a child? Are there families? And although people started to answer already, I really would like to have Nomad Cruise as a family event as we go the next few decades. And this time we also had in Tarifa, we also had like a little bit older than teenager children of a nomad family joining us, and their parents were nomads. And that's kind of the vision that I would like to have at one point, that we would have all sorts of generations coming. I love that we have the older generation as well. So we had people in their 70s joining us, but I love that we have children and nomad children, and really hope that we are going to have more and more. So the answer is absolutely yes, you can bring a child. It would be it depends how old is the child. There's always different things to do in a cruise ship for a child. So yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Rick is asking, was there where in the Philippines? So there's not a final destination yet, but we will share this as soon as we can. So you can also book accommodation, but that will be like around, I would say about around mid-June, but we just want you to be aware that we are going to be there. Okay, so the final destination we will share a little bit later. Okay. So any more questions, feel free to ask. And
we had another question before, but it was answered, but I would like to talk about this a little bit until we have more questions. And that was about the spa, and Rene checked it, and we do have a spa. And I think it was Berkeley who was asking And yeah, you are right. The spas on cruise ships are always amazing, and we're gonna have space so that you can go on Costa. It was mind blowing, one of my best experiences. We don't know much about this one because it's a new ship for us as well. But yeah, there's going to be a spa as well, and you're welcome to book it. It's an extra charge usually that you need to book, but yeah, absolutely worth it.
So Gina is asking, where's the last place the ship stops in Japan and how far from Tokyo? So we are arriving in Yokohama and we're actually really close to Tokyo. So I think it's like 20 minutes. I'm not sure exactly, like what it's like with the traffic and whatsoever, but you can definitely make it to Tokyo on the first day though, if you need to. And Gustav wants a little bit of his fame as well, so we will show his question, of course, in the pop over here as well. So if you have any other questions, Gustav, feel free to ask.
Yeah, there is one
Yeah.
from Berkeley asking about the theme parties. That are you going to be able to see in advance what the theme is going to be? I have an idea. It just came a couple of minutes ago. I kind of want you to tell us what kind of parties you would be interested. So please check our Instagrams. I'm sorry, Johannes didn't check it with you, but please check our Instagram, and we are going to pop up one question where you can tell us what kind of parties you like, and then the best one, we might actually do it. But last time we had one 90s party, we had the inner group party, and a future party, I think. And yeah, the outfits were spot on, and we only announced them like a week before. So we don't want to make this time we want to announce it like way before, so you can actually prepare, and we want to have like spot on costumes for this.
Yes, so we'll announce the theme parties far in advance so that you can prepare for them a little bit better. And yeah, how is the weather going to be like? So this is a little bit of a tricky one. Juliana is asking, and yeah, so even like in Whistler, it might be like super warm, but it might also be snowing if we are like a little bit unlucky. So just be prepared, have a layer for both, like have 2 layers for sunshine, medium, and bit. Like I would not just take one sweatshirt or whatsoever because you think that you're going to Asia or end up in the Philippines later. But I think in general, it will be like spring temperature most of the time. In Alaska, it's going to be a little bit colder. So unfortunately, you need to be prepared for almost every kind of weather. Just like not super cold, but yeah. So it's a bit of a more tricky journey because it's a little bit hard to really predict this.
We have another question from Astrid. When are you looking to do the tour? Immediately after the cruise, or 1 or 2 days rest in between?
Okay, so the tour will be actually within that we will have 2 nights in Yokohama. And then because from Yokohama, we're going to first go to Kamakura, but basically it's not going to be a rush immediately because we just take it a little bit easy before we start. So these 2 nights in the beginning are included as well so that you can actually really take it easy. And you have a little bit of time to check your internet situation and everything. Okay.
Yeah, there's one more, Lemon Nalik, about the visa. Isn't Canada, I guess, ESTA we need, not the US? And for this, I would like to, in general, what we would like to ask everybody, and you're right, but in general, we would like everybody to check your visa situation because we are coming from usually like a few dozens of countries, even more. And we cannot check for you. So it depends where you're coming, and you need to check it for Canada. You need to check it for Japan for sure. I'm
and
not
for
sure
United
about
States as well. You need to have a visa for United States. If you don't, even though it's just a short stop in Alaska, so whatever you need, maybe you need ESTA, something else. Yeah, please check. Make sure that you can do this because we cannot take you with us if this is not sorted. Okay. So another question: when approximately will be the reunion in Osaka? I think it will be on the 22nd of October, so about 1 week to 8 9 days afterwards. And actually, we will also have a reunion in Tokyo, and we are timing it the way that even those people who are joining us on the 9 day trip, they can also join the reunions, so that we are actually we can even actually meet again already after 2 3 days with everyone and have this experience together. I wanted to say about the tour as well. I didn't know if I mentioned this before, but like these tours, there will just be like smaller groups, like so groups of up to 40 people. So we're gonna have it, a little bit more separated. And this is actually a really cool thing to have a smaller group that you travel with afterwards, because that's one thing that we learned in Antarctica again as well. It's like sometimes like having these smaller groups, it really actually creates even better connection between people. So being with 40 people traveling for 9 days, that can be another really really cool experience, especially after the arrival. Okay, so now
Yeah,
we
I think we answered most of them.
I think we did answer everything, right? It's nice that
Oh
you're
no,
also
there's one more. How many
okay.
countries will we have on board? Well, it depends how many of you are going to take the 27 cabins available we have.
Yeah,
So we cannot really say right now, but usually we have quite a variety. Mostly this time, I think many people are coming from the States because of geography, and also many people from Europe. Usually,
I think we will have around 30 to 40 different nationalities on board. That's usually like that's what I would assume. Yeah. So and also like again, this cruise is really for everyone like who's really interested in this lifestyle as well. And I think it's really a great way to get so much inspiration from so many different people, because one thing that we also discovered is that even if we are 300 people on the cruise, not one single person has got exactly the same job, right? So you get to meet so many different people who are different things. Actually, like if you're here, it would be really cool to see, like if you would put your profession, right? Like are you like a copywriter, are you a programmer, like, or like even a bit more specific? It would be great if you just drop this, because I always like to see what is everyone actually doing, because we have so many different things that people do, and it's really nice to connect and to get this inspiration. Because usually with networking events, then you do it in tourism and everyone kind of does the same job, and here you can really learn from everyone. So whatever you're doing for your job, it would be cool if you just type a little bit here what you're doing. Yeah, business and human design coach, branding marketing, great. Yeah, so like it's really a lot of web developer. Yeah, like it's really a lot of different things, and you can really dive into like all these different things. And also you find people that you can actually work with and collaborate. I mean, I think that the people are like the best thing, but the really what is the most valuable thing of the cruise is the connections that you're making and that you're keeping for life, and with people who are actually doing like oftentimes very very different things. So you tap into like a really cool network of people who can give you great advice on literally everything, as you can see here already. People sharing their
Hi,
things.
Scotty.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I think we have spent quite a lot of time here now. We've taken more of the time than we wanted, more of your time. And I think that we are ready to say goodbye now. Um, and we wish you all a very, well, we can't wait to meet you all very, very soon. And we'll share a lot of updates over the next 1 or 2 weeks with you. We're going to start the Telegram chat a little bit earlier this time, so that you can connect, that you can make plans. Whoever is going to Burning Man or whatsoever, like feel free to share there. And really looking forward to connect so soon. So I hope that you are excited and looking forward to see many of you in Whistler or in Vancouver very, very soon.
Thanks for being here. It was great to see you again. And it's only a few months and we will see you in real life, which I'm so excited about.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep you updated. Please check your inbox, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
See you soon.
See
Bye.
you.